He's one of our plan to see him fight in 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight.
Both Canelo and Crawford's fans have been eagerly anticipating a potential matchup between the two. The rumors surrounding this fight have only grown over time, and the idea of seeing them face off is still very much alive.
The strategy is me leaving with my hand, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it up.
After months of uncertainty, there seems to be a renewed sense of hope for this matchup. The journey has been filled with ups and downs, but now there is a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel.
As long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything. So
last month, Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, was at the peak of his career. He fought Edgar Bonga, a formidable opponent, to defend his titles, solidifying his position as one of the world's top fighters. Fans are accustomed to seeing Canelo fight on Cinco de Mayo, but his next opponent remains a mystery. This lack of clarity has sparked more rumors, with Terence Crawford's name once again rising to the top of the list.
You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do.
The journey has been remarkable. The former welterweight champion shocked the world by moving up to super welterweight and defeating the tough Israel Moth. In doing so, Crawford added a fourth title in a different weight division to his already impressive resume. Fans have been hoping for Crawford to step up and challenge Canelo, and Crawford himself has made it clear that he is ready for the challenge. But is this fight actually possible?
Terence Crawford was with Turki Alalshikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Earlier this year, Saudi businessman LK expressed significant interest in organizing this dream fight, using his resources and connections to make it happen. However, when Canelo refused to discuss the matchup before his fight with Baluno, LK stepped back. For a time, it seemed like the fight would remain nothing more than a pipe dream.
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Now, LK has taken a bold step, putting the pressure back on Canelo. In a recent interview with DAZN, he revealed that he is open to restarting talks, but only if they happen directly between him and Canelo. I don't have anyone from Canelo's team, but if he's hearing me, I'm ready to talk, LK said, emphasizing that he wants to engage in direct conversations without intermediaries. This approach could be a game changer, showcasing LK's serious intent in making this fight a reality. The question now is whether Canelo will answer the call.
There ain't nothing I can't do.
So what you doing there? Enjoy yourself since winning the belts.
Fans are buzzing with excitement at the possibility. Canelo has faced some criticism lately. David Benavidez, often linked to the Mexican superstar, recently accused Canelo of turning down a reported $70 million to fight an undefeated former world champion. Whether this claim holds any weight or not, it has only increased the pressure on Canelo to deliver a marquee fight in 2024. A fight with Crawford could be the perfect opportunity to answer these calls. For Crawford, this is not just about legacy, it's a chance to silence any critics who question his ability to compete at 168 pounds. Despite the weight difference, Crawford has never backed down from a challenge, and his dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr. earlier this year proves he's ready to push himself to the limit.
And remember, Canelo is a guy who presses a lot. That's one thing Canelo does. Canelo's not very active, but he gets in your face and he mentally presses you a lot by cutting off the ring, getting in your face. So I start to wonder if going up to super middleweight is going to be a bridge too far for Crawford. But hey, man, he got the win, and I guess that's going to be the talking point from now on.
The stakes for both fighters are enormous. A win for Canelo would further cement his status as one of the greatest boxers of his generation, while a victory for Crawford would make him a legend in his own right. Fans are already imagining the fireworks this fight could bring, as both fighters are known for their skill, strategy, and determination. The involvement of LK adds another layer of intrigue, as the mastermind behind Crawford's recent bouts has proven his ability to orchestrate big events that capture the boxing world's attention.
They hit you everywhere, and you're a naturally smaller guy. It could start to take effect. It's a fight people are going to want to see, and if Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez and he's not going to fight Moreau, which we've obviously seen he's not, you'd rather end up seeing Canelo against a Crawford for like some kind of super fantasy fight, rather than Canelo against, I don't know, the guy who's going to deliver my pizza later. You know?
Crawford's power could pose a serious threat to Canelo. Being naturally smaller, Canelo may find himself at a disadvantage in terms of power. This is a fight that fans want to see, and if Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez or Morel, both of whom seem unlikely matchups, then facing Crawford could offer the kind of super fight fans have been dreaming about, far better than a mismatch with any lesser opponent.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and like he say, they talking about the fight with Germonta, right? I think he say, nobody's gonna give me credit if I beat him. It's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. I think it's...
Canelo's win over Baluna received mixed reviews. While it was another successful defense of his titles, some critics felt the fight lacked the excitement typically expected from a Canelo headliner. This only increased anticipation for his next fight, with fans hoping for a truly competitive opponent. Crawford, with his stellar reputation and recent accomplishments, fits that role perfectly. However, questions about the strategy of such a matchup remain. How would Crawford adapt to fighting at 168 pounds? Would his speed and precision be enough to counter Canelo's power and experience? And for Canelo, would facing someone as skilled and relentless as Crawford force him to rethink his usual tactics?
A man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did.
Crawford himself has acknowledged that these questions are tough to answer ahead of his famous win over Errol Spence Jr. Crawford spoke to Sporting News, expressing that he wasn't initially interested in fighting at 168 pounds, especially against Canelo. Yet now, he has shifted his perspective. What once seemed impossible has become his biggest motivation. In recent months, Crawford's hunger for this fight has only intensified.
He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for.
On the Portway podcast, Crawford opened up about how much this fight with Canelo means to him. To be honest, the Canelo fight was my motivation, he admitted. Starting at lightweight and climbing all the way up to super middleweight with no catchweight is a daunting challenge, even for someone as accomplished as Crawford. But that challenge is what excites him. It would be crazy for a guy who started at 135 to come all the way up to 168 with no catchweight and dethrone you, Crawford said, acknowledging the stakes for both fighters. He recognizes the difficulty of moving up in weight, but for him, that challenge is exactly what drives him to succeed.
Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you ask him about that, because you say, your Machado is coming out with the other weight classes and he's welterweight, so don't make sense.
Still, Crawford remains grounded, saying, there are things we talk about, but right now I'm still doing what I do. Canelo has a fight coming up, so I never want to make it all about me and Canelo. Crawford has always maintained a respectful attitude toward Canelo. However, Canelo himself has been far less enthusiastic about the idea of this fight. The Mexican superstar has openly dismissed the notion, claiming that it offers him no real reward. If I fight Crawford at 168, I have everything to lose and nothing to gain, Canelo has said. If I win, critics will claim I was fighting someone too small, and if I lose, it would be a massive blow to my legacy.
Stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
Despite Canelo's hesitation, Crawford has refused to back down. His recent victory over Israel Moff at super welterweight, securing the WBA world title, brought him one step closer to a showdown with Canelo. However, Canelo wasn't impressed. Speaking to Fight Hype, Canelo questioned Crawford's performance, suggesting that the fight could have gone either way. Crawford quickly fired back, pointing out that Canelo has his own history of struggles when moving up in weight. "They talk all this crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up in weight and won," Crawford said, reminding fans of Canelo's loss to Dmitry Bivol at light heavyweight. That fight exposed vulnerabilities in Canelo's game when facing larger opponents. While Canelo did win his first fight at 175 against Sergey Kovalev, his record at higher weights isn't flawless. Crawford views this as proof that he's ready to take on challenges as big as Canelo's, if not bigger.
A lot of people say, well, Terence Crawford wants to fight Canelo Alvarez to prove he's the best. Me personally, I think it's just a cash grab. And he's just trying to get as much money as he can.
The argument gains even more weight when considering Canelo's recent choice of opponents. Not long ago, Canelo faced Jermall Charlo, a former undisputed super welterweight champion. If Canelo was ready to fight Charlo, why not take on Crawford? Both fighters have proven themselves in the ring and are in pursuit of greatness. Fans see this as a natural progression, a chance for both men to prove they are the best of the best. For Crawford, this fight isn't just about titles or records, it's about making history. Moving up to 168 and dethroning Canelo would solidify his place among the greatest of all time. The challenge is immense, but Crawford's confidence remains unshaken. He understands the risks, but he also knows the rewards make it all worthwhile. That's what makes this fight so special. It's not just another boxing match, it's a moment that could change the sport.
Sparred over a decade ago, no one's been a bigger Terence Crawford believer than Tim Bradley.
Right.
And so Tim still picks Terence to beat Boots, still picks Terence to beat Canelo.
On the other hand, Canelo has always been about maintaining his reputation. He's faced the best and proven himself time and time again. However, a fight with Crawford is different. It's not just about adding another win to his record, it's about protecting his standing as the top fighter in the sport. The pressure is immense, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans are eager to see how he will rise to the occasion. It's the type of fight that doesn't come around often, a clash between two legends at the top of their powers. Both fighters have everything to lose and everything to gain, and that's what makes it so exciting. Fans are already debating who will come out on top, analyzing every detail, and speculating about what could unfold in the ring.
Crawford has a chance against Canelo Alvarez at 168.
I think he has a chance against either one of those guys. The weight, though, is a serious thing. And one of the reasons why Canelo is so successful is he's got such a good chin.
Crawford's journey to this point has been nothing short of remarkable. Starting at 135 pounds and working his way through the weight classes, he has faced every challenge head-on. Now, at 37 years old, he's ready to take on the biggest test of his career. For Canelo, this fight represents a chance to silence his critics once and for all and prove that he is the best fighter of his generation. As the boxing world prepares for this epic showdown, one thing is clear: this fight is more than just a battle between two champions. It's a test of will, skill, and determination.
His name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he is not.
The fighters have followed different paths to get here, but they share a common goal: to be remembered as the greatest. Amir Khan stands as the only fighter to have shared the ring with both Canelo Alvarez and Crawford, giving him a unique perspective on the potential matchup between these 2 pound, 4 pound stars. Having faced each fighter at different points in his career, Khan's views are especially valuable as rumors surrounding a clash between Canelo and Crawford continue to grow.
Making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir Khan, Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Khan first stepped into the ring with Canelo in May 2016, moving up from welterweight to fight for the WBC middleweight title. The fight was held at a 155 pounds catchweight, and it ended with a devastating 6th-round knockout loss for Khan. Despite the defeat, Khan directly experienced the raw power and size that Canelo brings to the table. 3 years later, Khan faced Crawford in a welterweight bout for the WBO world title. Crawford, at the peak of his powers, stopped Khan in the 6th round as well, demonstrating his versatility, precision, and speed. These two experiences give Khan a unique insight into the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters.
No, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down.
It's a fight that would be tough, but I'll support my boy Terence and want him to win, Khan said. But it would be hard. Does he need that fight? No, I don't think he needs it. He's done so well in his career and beaten everyone. Khan also discussed the motivations that could drive Crawford to take the fight, emphasizing the potential for a massive payday. He's unbeatable and one of the best pound-for-pound, but if it's a big payday, I understand why it would be made. Why would Terence take a risky fight for less money when he can take a seriously tough fight for serious money? We never want to see fighters get hurt, but he's a special fighter. If that fight happens, it's hard to call who would win, but I'd be in Terence's corner.
And look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do.
This assessment captures the complexity of a potential Crawford versus Canelo fight. The clash would undoubtedly be a monumental event for boxing, pitting two of the sport's best against each other in a high-stakes battle. Adding to the intrigue is the viewpoint of Alexander Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion, known for his technical brilliance and keen boxing IQ. Speaking on the 3 Knockout Rule podcast, Usyk boldly stated, "I think Terence will win." Terence is a different man. Terence works on both sides, right and left. He feels the space. Terence can box like a big guy. Usyk's trust in Crawford stems from the American's ability to adapt, his ring intelligence, and his proficiency in fighting from both orthodox and southpaw stances. For Usyk, Crawford's ability to box like a big guy means he has the tools to overcome Canelo's physical advantages.
Yo, Turki, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
Crawford's most recent performance, a victory over Israel Madrimov in August, which earned him the WBO super welterweight title, further emphasizes his readiness to face bigger challenges. Despite Madrimov's reputation as a formidable opponent, Crawford outpointed him with relative ease, showcasing his dominance across multiple weight classes. Usyk's endorsement of Crawford aligns with the growing belief that the 37-year-old is still at the peak of his powers. His ability to move across weight divisions and consistently deliver high-level performances has solidified his place as one of boxing's all-time greats.
Terence Crawford would have to move.
Fighters are showing interest in the battle, and the potential matchup between Crawford and Canelo is quickly becoming one of the most talked about topics in boxing. Crawford's journey from lightweight to super welterweight has been extraordinary, and moving up to super middleweight would be the ultimate test of his skills. For Canelo, the fight offers a chance to prove that his power and skill can neutralize even the most technically gifted opponents. As Khan and Usyk's comments suggest, the clash between these two titans would be a fascinating blend of strategy, skill, and raw power. As Crawford prepares for a potential return to the ring in April or May of 2025, and with Canelo emerging as a leading contender for his next opponent, the boxing world eagerly awaits how this will unfold. What do you think?
That Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small.